Fast and Furious 11. The final ride begins. For over 20 years, one saga has pushed the limits of action cinema. Speed, loyalty, family. Now it all comes to an end. It all began in 2001 on the streets of Los Angeles. Paul Walker as Brian, Vin Diesel as Dom, street races, undercover agents. But the story kept growing, from LA to Tokyo, from Brazil to London. The Fast and Furious crew became legends. Each film raised the stakes. Each mission is more impossible. Each crash, somehow survivable. But in 2015, the franchise changed forever. Furious 7 gave us a heartbreaking goodbye to Paul Walker and reminded the world what family truly means. In Fast X, the past returned with fury. Dante Reyes, son of Hernan Reyes from Fast 5, played by Jason Momoa, unpredictable, theatrical, and lethal. He doesn't want money. He wants revenge. He wants to destroy everything Dom loves. Now, the story continues in Fast and Furious 11, also known as Fast X. Part 2, the final chapter. Dom is pushed to the edge. His team is broken. His enemies united. But the family will rise again. Michelle Rodriguez returns as Letty. Tyrese Gibson and Ludacris are Roman and Tej. Sung Kang as Han. Natalie Emanuel as Ramsey. Jason Statham returns. Dwayne Johnson is back and Hobbs is home. The mission is global. The threat is personal. And the finish line is near. Directed by Louis Leterrier. Filming begins in January 2025. Release set for summer 2026. This is the end of the Fast Saga. 22 plus years. Over $7 billion at the box office. And a fan base that spans generations. It's not just a movie. It's the final ride. This franchise is more than explosions. More than cars. It's about loyalty, brotherhood, sacrifice. We've grown up with Dom, Brian, Letty, Roman, and the crew. We've lost heroes. We've welcomed new ones. And we've learned, family isn't just blood, it's who you ride with. Fast and Furious 11, the road ends here, the legacy lives forever. Coming summer 2026. One last mission, one last ride, for family. For over 2 decades, the Fast and Furious franchise has taken audiences on a wild ride, blending high-octane action, over-the-top stunts, and the enduring theme of family. Now, as the saga races toward its thrilling finale, anticipation is mounting for Fast and Furious 11, the final ride. Set to release in 2026, this film promises not only to conclude the main storyline, but to celebrate the legacy of a series that has become a global phenomenon. The story of Fast and Furious began in 2001 with a simple tale of street racing and undercover cops. Since then, it has evolved into a globe-trotting adventure, featuring daring heists, world-saving missions, and a crew whose loyalty to each other has been tested time and again. As fans eagerly await the ultimate chapter, let's take a look back at where the story left off, who's returning for this last adventure, and what we can expect from the final ride. At the heart of the franchise is Dominic Toretto, played by Vin Diesel. Dom is more than just a skilled driver and mastermind. He is the anchor of a chosen family that has grown with every challenge. The last installment, Fast X, left audiences on the edge of their seats. With Dom facing off against the vengeful Dante Reyes, portrayed with manic energy by Jason Momoa, the stakes have never been higher. The Toretto crew found themselves scattered, battered, but never broken, as new threats emerged and old alliances were tested. As we look toward Fast and Furious 11, the cast lineup reads like a roll call of action movie royalty. Vin Diesel returns as Dom, with Michelle Rodriguez reprising her role as Letty Ortiz, Dom's partner in both life and crime. Tyrese Gibson is back as Roman Pierce, bringing humor and heart, while Ludacris returns as Tej Parker, the tech genius who always finds a way to make the impossible possible. Jordana Brewster's Mia Toretto, Natalie Emanuel's Ramsey, and Sung Kang's Han Sol-oh are all expected to join the action once more. each bringing their own unique skills and histories to the mix. Perhaps the biggest headline is the return of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as Luke Hobbs. After previous off-screen tensions with Vin Diesel, Johnson's return signals a unifying moment for the franchise's biggest personalities. With Hobbs back in the mix, fans can expect explosive action and larger-than-life showdowns. Jason Momoa's Dante is also set to return, continuing the role of one of the franchise's most unpredictable and dangerous villains. Other familiar faces may appear as well. Charlize Theron as the cyber-terrorist Cypher, Jason Statham as the formidable Deckard Shaw, and possibly even more surprise returns, like Gal Gadot's Giselle or John Cena's Jacob Toretto, are all rumoured or speculated to be part of this epic conclusion. The stage is set for a massive ensemble cast, bringing together the many threads and characters that have weaved through the series. What makes Fast and Furious stand apart from other action franchises is its signature blend of adrenaline and emotion. Yes, we come for the cars, the chases, and the gravity-defying stunts, but we stay for the moments of camaraderie, sacrifice, and love that bind this makeshift family. Time and again, the crew has faced down impossible odds, not just with horsepower and firepower, but with trust and loyalty that has resonated with fans around the world. Director Louis Leterrier, who helmed Fast X, returns to guide the saga to its finish line. Under his direction, the franchise has leaned into its wildest tendencies while honouring the emotional core that keeps the story grounded. Leterrier's experience with large-scale action and ensemble casts makes him the perfect choice to deliver a finale that's both spectacular and heartfelt. While plot details for Fast and Furious 11 remain under wraps, we can piece together a sense of what's to come. Fast X ended with the crew in peril, new alliances forming, and Dante's vendetta far from resolved. The final ride will likely see Dom and his family pulling out all the stops to protect what matters most, facing betrayals and challenges that will test them like never before. With the fate of their family, and perhaps the world, on the line, audiences can expect daring rescues, jaw-dropping action sequences, and emotional farewells. The franchise's legacy also extends beyond the big screen. Universal Studios Hollywood is set to open Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift, a high-speed roller coaster inspired by the films, in 2026. This immersive attraction will let fans experience the pulse-pounding excitement of the movies firsthand, ensuring that the spirit of Fast and Furious lives on in new and thrilling ways. As the series prepares to cross the finish line, it's worth reflecting on its impact. What began as a modest street racing film has become a celebration of diversity, resilience, and the power of found family. The Fast and Furious saga has introduced us to unforgettable characters, delivered some of cinema's most outrageous set pieces, and reminded us that, in Dom's words, the most important thing in life will always be the people right there, right now. That's what's real. Fast and Furious, Furious 11. The final ride isn't just the end of a story. It's the closing chapter of a cultural touchstone. It's a moment for fans, old and new, to come together and celebrate everything that makes this franchise special. Whether you've been along for every ride or are just catching up, the final film promises to deliver the thrills, twists, and heartwarming moments that define Fast and Furious. So, as the world counts down to 2026, the engines are revving, the stakes are higher than ever, and the family is ready for one last race. Fast and Furious 11 will be a send-off worthy of its legacy, a story of speed, sacrifice, and the unbreakable bonds that drive us all.